So hello friends, welcome to the first lecture of reliability engineering. So in this subject we are going to learn many aspects of reliability engineering, many practical aspects, many theoretical aspects and many important concepts in the reliability engineering. Then we are going to learn the application of reliability engineering, objective of reliability engineering and why this subject is really very important to learn in the engineering. Okay, it is multidisciplinary subject basically. It is not limited to only like mechanical engineering or production engineering or like computer engineering. It may be applicable to electronics, maybe all kind of engineering, maybe chemical also like that. Okay, so therefore this subject is very important. And why we have chosen this subject for production engineering? Because this is applicable to the engineering components or the machine components too. Okay, so when you are thinking about a particular machine, then we always think about the working of the or the probability of proper working of the component. Okay, or always we always think for the reliability of the component, how this component is going to work properly, okay, for a particular period of time or for its life. So we always think of that. Okay, so that's why it is very important to understand the very important concepts of this reliability engineering and many other concepts that we are going to cover in this particular subject. Okay, so this is the elective subject 2 of last year first semester of production engineering. Okay, so let us start with the definition of reliability engineering. So we can see this definition now. Reliability. When we think about the reliability of a particular component, we always think of the probability of the successful operation of the in any component, right? Probability. So when this probability word comes, it means that it will have a certain value, numerical value. That value must be from 0 to 1. 1 means 100%, and 0 means 0%, right? So reliability must be between 0 to 1. And when you are going to buy a particular component, we must always expect that this reliability must be towards the 1. Sorry, towards 1. Okay, if the reliability, if you say the reliability is zero point 0.9 or 0.95, it is always good. If the reliability is say zero point 0.7 or 0.72, and if suppose if you have two options or two brands of the same components having the reliability zero point 0.7 and zero point 0.9, obviously we'll always opt for the component will have the greater reliability, that is zero point 0.9. Okay, so this reliability depends upon the many factors. Okay, the first factor is its stated conditions. So obviously what happens when you are putting the component in the application, but now we have to see in which conditions we are putting the component, like a spark plug that is going to be used in the engine which have the temperature at very high ranges like 2000 degrees centigrade. Okay, or certain components like your thermostats are going to work in the refrigerators where the temperature is even below the 0 degree centigrade. Okay, or some components those are used in many different conditions. Okay, the same components are going to use in the high temperature condition, low temperature conditions. In that so therefore when you are going to the analyze for the reliability, we have to take care of all those certain conditions. Okay, and one more very important word that must be in the definition of reliability is the for a stated period of time. Okay, for a stated period of time. So it means that when a component is manufactured and it is sold in the market, then we have to always give the reliability of the component for a specific period of time. Like when you are going to buy a mobile, then the manufacturer will give you the guarantee and warranty kind of things. Okay, guarantee warranty means what, for a particular specific period of time. Okay, so what will they say? This particular mobile is going to work very properly for next 2 years, so warranty is given. So if suppose this warranty is good for you, then we are going to buy the mobile. Okay, and as a manufacturer has given the warranty that within 2 years this is not going to fail, and suppose that happens, then it is good, right? So it means that when a component is manufactured, then the manufacturer will have to give the warranty and guarantee in terms of the time period. Okay, so that is also the part of reliability. So the importance of reliability subject is that when you are working in industry, specifically in research and development department in any industry, then we have to always work for the reliability of a particular component. Okay, so reliability that depends upon the specified time, specified conditions, working conditions, right? And the probability of um, the atom which will perform the required function. Okay, so what happens in the research and development department in the industry? What they do, they always try to improve the functionality or the quality of the product. So improving the quality of the product means what? They are improving the quality of the product means they want to increase the life of the component. They want to give more satisfaction towards a customer. Okay, so giving more customer satisfaction means we are going to give more guarantee and warranty to the component. Okay, to the customers. Okay, so it means that obviously when you are working in the research and development department, it means that 100% you are working on the reliability of the component. So this is the very great importance of this subject. So this reliability subject is very useful in the research and development department. Okay, so what we are going to learn in the reliability engineering, we want to carry out the reliability of a component, thereby failure analysis of the component. Okay, failure analysis of the component. So how to carry out the failure analysis? See, when you are carrying out the failure analysis means what? We are carrying out a reliability analysis. If you know the failure of the component, then we can easily find out the reliability. We can easily improve the reliability of the component. Okay, so the failure is the exactly opposite term to the reliability. So to understand this failure, let us consider a very simple example. Say the mobile itself. So if suppose the manufacturer reliability is given as say for a specified period of time, say 6 months. So 6 months warranty is given. For 6 months it is not going to fail. Okay, so let us say after 6 months it has started failing, and already we know the warranty of this component was 6 months, and you were satisfied for the 6 months. Okay, so after 6 months the particular component or your mobile is started failing. Okay, but initially the probability of failure is less after 6 months, but after a certain period of time, as the reliability goes on decreasing, and in that becomes zero. When the reliability becomes zero, then that time we can say that the component has been failed. Okay, so it means that the reliability, the value is between 0 and 1. Okay, so now we'll understand when this value is 1, when this value is 0, or when the value is between 0 to 1. So to understand this concept, let us consider a very simple example of the electric bulb. Okay, so let us consider the electric bulb. Let us consider that we are carrying out the failure analysis of 1000 bulbs. Okay, so when you are putting all the bulbs into the operation, initially, you know, there are more chances that the component will work properly initially. Okay, because after manufacturing, all those components are going to be worked in the or into the work. Okay, so at very initial stage we have high guarantee that the components are going to work, but after certain period of time what will happen? Let us say after 1 month, how much guarantee you will give? After one month of working of the bulb, obviously your reliability is going to decrease by a certain value. Let us say the reliability is now say 70% only after 1 month. So reliability is the function of time also. Okay, after 5 months your reliability will be say 30%, because time span of the bulb is around 6 7 or 8 months. So after 5 months you can give only 30% of reliability to this component, and after 8 months no guarantee at all. So it is going to fail. If suppose it is going to work even after 8 months, then it is your fortune. Okay, but manufacturers guarantee warranty is up to 8 months. Okay, so therefore when this time periods, this particular span goes beyond its warranty period, then we can say that the reliability is going to become zero. And when the reliability is going to become zero, then we can say that it's a failure of the component. Okay, so therefore reliability and failures are the opposite terms to each other. So termination of ability of an atom to perform the required function, that is nothing but your failure. Okay, so we are going to see some other terms also here. You understand the definition of the reliability, definition of the failures. Okay, and how this reliability is changing over a period of time. And one more factor is also there, that the stated conditions. Okay, so stated condition means what? If suppose we have say use these bulbs in different conditions, like let us say one bulb is used in the say in AC room, one bulb is used where the temperature is high. Okay, that also affects the reliability of the component, but we can analyze easily the lifespan of the components. Okay, so what is the main purpose of this subject? See, we can easily find out the guarantee, warranty, maintainability, availability, and reliability of the component using this particular subject or this particular analysis. Okay, so we are going to learn in very depth how to find out all these things. Okay, during the analysis of a particular component or a group of components. Okay, so guarantee is assurance given by the manufacturer to the vendor or the customer that the product will work without failure for a stated period of time. So how to find out this guarantee or warranty? Okay, there is small difference between guarantee and warranty. If you are having more confidence, then we can easily give the warranty. And if you have less confidence, then we can give the guarantee. Okay, like if guarantee is given for 6 months and so it is failed, then manufacturer is going to repair the component. If warranty is given, we have to replace it. This is only the difference between guarantee and warranty. Okay, so how can you give the guarantee and warranty on the basis of reliability analysis? So in reliability analysis, we carry out the failure analysis. Already we have seen the example of 1000 bulbs. So we have started the failure analysis of 1000 bulbs. So let us consider all those bulbs are put at the same time. So initially, less number of bulbs are going to fail. Let us say after 1 month, more number of the bulbs are going to fail. After say 6 months, let us consider 90% of bulbs are failed, and after 8 months, say 100% bulbs are failed. Okay, so like that. So if you get this particular data that this bulb or maximum of the bulbs are working up to the 5 months, maximum bulbs are working up to the 5 months, and maximum of the bulbs are failing after 8 months. Okay, then how much guarantee warranty we can give for this particular bulb? 5 months. Okay, so we have to make the risk free. So we know our bulb is going to work for at least 5 months. At least 5 months. There may be certain uh, obviously shortcomings, like some components have been failed very initially, but that number is very less, say one or two. Okay, so therefore it doesn't affect the reliability actually. Okay, but maximum of the components are working for 5 months at least, and they are failing after 8 months. Okay, so therefore, what is this 5 months? So this 5 months is nothing but the period of guarantee or warranty. So we can give easily the period for the customer, the guarantee and warranty. Okay, so what is maintainability? Suppose even though the component is failed during this particular guarantee warranty, we have to repair it. We have to repair it. Okay, when you are repairing it, then what is the maintainability of this component? If suppose the reliability is more, then obviously reliability, if the reliability is more means what, quality is more. So when the component is coming for the maintenance or say restore for the restorement, then what we are going to do? Then that component you are going to restore it or repair it. Okay, restore to the initial conditions. Then you will require less effort if suppose you have good reliability. Okay, it means that obviously then it will also give the maintainability if the reliability is more. Availability is very simple term. Means what? Up to what particular period the component will be available for the work. Okay. Once you know the guarantee, warranty, reliability, then we can easily say, like for bulb, this bulb will be available for at least 5 months. Okay, that is nothing but the availability. So we are going to learn every point in very depth in the coming lectures. This is only overview of the reliability subject. Okay, and the importance. So the same concepts are given in the vertical format, just to have the better idea for the comparison purpose. Okay, so we'll move towards the next point. Okay, so the failure, we are going to carry out the failure analysis, but why those components are failed? There are many reasons or many factors because of which the components are being failed. Okay, like it may be design defects, If the defects are there in the design, there are more chances that the initially the components will be failed. Okay, and if suppose the design is very complex, obviously the complex designs leads to more failures, right? Then second one, the item might be overstressed in some way. Like for example, if the bulb is given to you for a particular purpose, but if you are lighting it up for 24 hours, it means that it is overstressed. So it may hamper the lifespan. So instead of working for 5 months, it may work for 4 months only, because if you are working it for 24 hours like that. Failures can be caused by worn out, sufficiently strong at the start of the life, become weaker with the age. Okay, that is worn out. Failures can be caused by other time dependent mechanisms such as battery run down. For example, say the fluctuation in the electricity may also cause the failure of the bulbs. Okay, that is one of the reasons. Then other reasons, failure can be caused by sneaking. So sneaking means what? This is a very important term. So you must understand this sneaking term. So sneak means what? Even the component is manufactured to the specified design requirements. But you must have learned this subject, metrology and quality control. Okay, so in metrology and quality control, we have seen the tolerances. Even if suppose all the components are within the tolerances, but it may also happen that many of the components are at the high level of tolerance. Okay, or sorry, upper tolerance, at the upper tolerance, or it may also happen that the many of the components are at the lower tolerances. If suppose many of the components are at the upper tolerances, there may also be problem. Okay, in the same way, for more lower tolerance components may also affect the working of the assembly. Okay, so that is nothing but the sneaking. Even though the components are within the tolerances of the good quality, but because of this tolerance, if all the components are at the same kind of tolerances, it may also hamper the working life of the component. That is called as sneaking. Failure can be caused by errors such as incorrect specifications. Obviously, this is where these are very obvious. If the errors are there, then components are going to fail. There are many other potential causes failures such as oil leaks, noisy display, flickering, vibrations. Okay, so if the vibrations are more, obviously there will be more chances that the component is going to fail. Okay, so then why is reliability engineering required? Okay, to find out the warranty guarantee of the components, or to give more satisfaction to the customer. So very important. So many of the factors are there that those we are going to learn in this particular slide. We can see what is the need of this reliability, why we need the reliability. Okay, see, these are the very important factors we have gathered over here in this particular slide. Competition, if you want to be in the competition, if you want to um, do good in the competition, we have to go for good reliability. Okay, so if reliability is more, obviously we'll have better or upper hand in the competition. Market pressure, the same kind of components are being manufactured by many of the components. So there are manufacturers, there are many brands available for the same component. So therefore, if you want to um, have more sale of your component, then obviously we have to go for good reliability. Okay, so that is a market pressure, because the customer also have very good eye over the components, right, their lives. Then management emphasis, obviously management always opt for good quality of the components to have um, good revenue generation, good profits. So therefore management will also emphasize on the reliability of the components. Customer requirements, sometimes it may also happen that customers are also asking for the different reliabilities of the components. Okay, that will also happen. So therefore there is need of reliability for different customers, different satisfaction, different requirements. Okay, there are again certain legal and statutory guidelines given by the government. Okay, this component must be with 90% of component, this component must be with at least 80% of the reliability, like that. Okay, if suppose the component is for healthcare, then the reliability must be more than 90%. If the component is for, let us say, some simple components like a simple mechanisms or simple machines, even the reliability is less than 80%, there is no such problem. So legal and statutory condition we have to think for. Okay, the reliability. Development risk, If you have good reliability of the components, obviously the risks in the development will be less. Okay, public liability, obviously it affects the reliability. Public liability, as the public liability is there, we have to always think of the public. Okay, good reliability will be good satisfaction to the public. Warranty and service cost, obviously we have already considered this particular part in the last slide also, so we can easily find out the warranty, and obviously we can easily compute the service cost of the component once you know the failure rates and failure analysis. Then safety, so to have better safety, reliability must be more. For more period of time we can give the safety if you have the good reliability. So these are the different requirements why we need the reliability. Okay, so then when we are analyzing for the reliability of a component, we have to think for its failure. We have to think for its failure. How this failure occurs, what is the pattern of failure? Okay, so most of the components in the world will have the same kind of failure pattern. That pattern is of bathtub curve. Most of the component will have bathtub curve pattern of failure. Okay, that's why the failure pattern is termed as bathtub curve. Okay, because the nature is similar to this bathtub. We can see this particular line. This particular line is similar to your bathtub. Okay, now what are different phases of this bathtub curve? See, there are three phases basically of this bathtub curve. This is the infant, this is the useful life, and this is worn out. This is worn out, third period. So initially, there is always a high risk that when you are putting the component in the application because of say design failures or improper selection of material, there are chances of the initial failures of the component. So therefore, failure rate may be more initially. So at this point, so when you're see this is a 0 point means what we have put the components into the operation. So after a certain period of time, there is always a high risk that the components are going to fail because you don't know. Already we have designed it, we have used a certain material to manufacture it, but we don't know exactly the design process is good or the material is proper. Okay, so in that case, there is always a risk that initially the components are failing more. The initial rate is more. Initially the rate is more. Okay, but as the time passes it goes on decreasing very rapidly because once the compound has been started working properly, then it will work for definitely it will work for a larger period of time. So therefore the failure rate means the same hazard rate. Failure rate or hazard rate will drop very rapidly. Okay, then it will seem to be constant up to a particular period, the failure rate. Okay, so this may be your constant. Okay, even though this is like a particular curve, but this may be constant also for many of the components. So this failure rate may be constant up to a certain period of time. So why this is the constant? Because this is your useful working period of the component. So once the component has passed this particular point, then it will work definitely for a particular period of time. So that is your useful life of the component. Okay, the failures will occur if some components are weakened. Okay, so some components will have say improper working conditions. So in that case, there may be some failures. So because of that, the failures are there, but the rate is very less. But after that period, once the life has been over, the failure of the compounds will started rapidly. So therefore, again, there is rapidly increase in the failure rate. We can see with this particular graph, there is rapidly increase in the failure rate. So this is called as bathtub curve. So in this bathtub curve, we have seen three phases. Infant mortality. Infant means what? Initial mortality. Okay. Then second one is useful lifetime of the component, and last one is your worn out failures. Worn out failures. Once the lifespan has been over, then the components are started failing. That is called as worn out period or worn out failures. Okay. So for this lecture, um, uh, we have in this particular lecture we have seen the definition of reliability, definition of failure, then the importance of the reliability engineering, then different important terminologies around this reliability engineering that we have seen. Okay, so in the coming lectures we are going to see every term in very depth. Okay, so thank you for watching this video and giving your time. Thanks a lot.